Alright, this is Bill back at the woodshed. Today I'm working on this Chris and Cassidy wood. The big chunks I'm going to pile over there, and the stuff that's split down smaller and I only have to do one splits like this. All I got to do is split this one 2 times. That's what I'm going to be splitting. So I'm piling that right next to the splitter. I want to get this off my grass. It's not that my grass is anything great, but it's killing the grass here. But I got to get this open. So let me walk back here with you. Not a very good cameraman, as I've stated before. The bigger chunks, I'm just going to pile them right there by that tent. And I've got to get this open so that I can get my truck in here when I need to get wood. So I have cherry and oak and maple ready to go in these bins. So I just need to be able to back my truck down in through this alleyway here, through the yard. So I just have to kind of tidy things up to be able to get through. And then if I really had to, I have ash in that middle bin, and this is all mixed hardwood on the end. Elm, hard maple, cherry. That stuff is going to be dry for the season also. As of right now, I cannot get my truck in any closer than it is because of the pile of beech that I have here. And the mountain of oak. So I'm going to have to wait to work on that. The good thing about this is I thought the tree service guy would have been Bobby Wells or DJ's Tree Service, and I thought they would have cut the logs up and brought them here, and they would have piled them here in that spot anyways, and I would have had to do all the cutting here and then try to split it. So at least I got the pieces all cut 16 inches, and it's somewhat split up, so it is drying a little bit. I just have to get it into hand-sized pieces for my customers. And all this stuff in here is drying pretty well too. The leaves are already starting to fall off the trees, and it's only August 6th, but then when the leaves fall off these bushes here and trees, that sun will come in the backside, and I'll get sun on this wood almost the whole day. So we just gotta clean up this alleyway today. So the main thing is right now is to get this pile out of the way, throw the split wood over there by those logs, those rounds, those big ones I did not split yet, and I'll probably stack that wood right there in that spot tomorrow morning before work, and I'll stack it like that. So just got to get my work gloves and get to work. So what I did is I piled up the pieces that are going to be funky and not easy to split and threw them on the side just so I can get this open. And I split a bunch already that you saw in the video a couple minutes ago on the video, and then the rest of the stuff that's easy to split, I piled it up right next to the splitter, and it's going to go right over with the other stuff that's split. So now I'm just going to rake this up a little bit, and I'll be able to get my drying cart back there if I want to take it back and load it with cherry, because I might do that, and then I might put beech where the cherry was, and then this will be out drying in the yard, and I'll be able to put that beech over there in its spot, and I'll have access to the cherry. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to rake this up a little bit. And you don't need to see that. Well, it's all raked up, so we're just going to split the rest of that, throw it over there to the left. So that's just piled up there. Let's see what we can get done before I stop for lunch. It's 12:32, but let me see if I can just get this pile split up and then eat. It's rocking. quicker for me. 45 minutes. It was 12:32, now it's 1:15. Four-way splitter works awesome. Twice as fast, I think. Welcome back to the woodshed. This is all open. It's all cleaned up, and I can get through there. So I'm going to take this new drying cart down there, and I'm going to have it set up so that I can put the cherry in it. It was split last year from the cherry tree. Then I'll be able to pull it out with the tractor, have it out in the yard. At least that's what the plan is. If I can't wheel it back without any problems, I won't come out with wood on it, that's for sure. So I think that'll work. So the next project will be is to make a big hole. Well, there's already a hole there, but to get as much of that cherry onto this cart as possible without breaking the cart. I'll take it right out of there. Out of that hole, and then I will be able to split beech it's over there by the dump truck. I'll work that beech this way, and it'll go right in that hole right there. So whatever I can't fit on the cart, I'll pile it up to the right of the tree up here, higher. And I'll have a big hole there. And I'm going to pile it up just as high as my other rack is there. Alright, it's a start. I got a hole there. So I can start splitting beech and throwing it in there. And I got one row stacked on the chariot cart. So this stuff here, I'll stack it on there at another time. It's almost 5 o'clock. Got to go out and bag a couple more bags of wood for a future order. That's it for today.